Okay, let's jump back in. Looking at this slide, the biggest tip that I can give you on your internship is to network, and then network some more. That's the biggest tip for your internship search. I think connecting with people, making those connections, that's probably going to yield the best results for you in your internship search. I mean, there's other things that you can do, and the slide points it out. Being organized. I mean, certainly you want to do that. If you tell an employer, I'll send you my resume by Friday, I mean, you need to send your resume by Friday. Checking Buff Jobs regularly, our job search database. I think that'll help you know about opportunities. Participate in every career services opportunity that you can. Again, the more you connect with employers, the greater your chances of finding something. And then having a really good resume, I think, can help you find an internship as well. Once you find an internship, I mean, you certainly want to be successful and you want to do the best possible job that you can in an internship. This slide gives you some ideas about how to make the most of your internship. And I wanted to just share with you, I mean, if you find yourself in a less than ideal internship situation, I mean, there's some things that you can try to make that a better situation. I heard of a story of a girl who did an internship at a tourist shop, and it was a less than ideal situation. She was actually running the register, and that's really all that she did. It turned out that was the job, and it was an internship. And she was bored out of her mind, and she hated the job. Well, what she did is she was a merchandising major at school, and so she studied retail floor and how to arrange things. And so what she did is she talked to her manager and she said, hey, could I do sales floor square foot analysis for you? I've learned to do that in school, and I think maybe I could propose some ideas that might be helpful to the store. And the manager said, sure, that sounds great. I'm really, really busy. I can't really help you with it. You still need to run the register, but yeah, go ahead. So what she did is she did this analysis, and she just presented at the end of the internship, or really towards the middle of the internship, she presented some ideas on how to rearrange the sales floor, how to move some displays to maximize sales, and she presented that to her manager, and he was completely blown away. He loved the ideas. They actually ended up implementing some of those ideas, increased sales in the store, and so at the end of her internship, she could put that project on her resume, looked great on her resume, and she also had a glowing letter of reference from her manager. So if you find yourself in a similar type of situation, my advice would be look around, take initiative, propose a project, and make the most of it that you can. Managers and employers, sometimes they get really busy, and they love employees that are thinking like that. Okay, partnering with our office. Partnering with career services doesn't guarantee that you're going to find an internship, but I think if you partner with us, you're going to improve your chances of finding an internship dramatically. Here are some ways that you can partner with us. The first way is by developing a strong resume. Our office offers in-person resume workshops as well as an online resume workshop. It's designed for students who've never written a resume before, as well as those students who have a resume but just need to improve it or update it or tweak it. I would highly encourage you, if you're local and can come to an in-person workshop, I think that's the best, although the online resume workshop certainly works. But I would encourage you to go through a resume workshop. And then the way that you really get your resume good is I would encourage you to make the changes that you learn about in the resume workshop, and then come to our office, or you can do it via email as well too, and let us review your resume. We offer resume critiquing times every week, and we'll sit down with you and go over your resume line by line, or we can do it via email, go over your resume line by line, give you ideas, suggestions. And if you're like me, whenever I'm writing something, the way that I get it good is I write it, then I give it to somebody, get feedback, make changes, give it to somebody else, get feedback, make changes. I go through that loop probably 3 or 4 times or more, and once I do that, then my stuff starts getting pretty good. You're probably the same way. highly encourage you to do that. You know, until you have a really good, strong resume, it's hard to get out of the starting blocks in terms of your internship search. The second way you can partner with our office is by uploading your resume into our Buff Jobs database. This is our job search database. This is where we post jobs and internships. But you as a student can also upload your resume to Buff Jobs. A couple of reasons to do this. One is we give employers usernames and passwords. They can log into Buff Jobs and they can search for your information. So if you have a good, strong resume in our database, you increase your visibility a lot, and employers may find you, may contact you about opportunities. Second reason to be in our database is put you in the information loop. I would encourage you to allow us to email you, text you, contact you. If you do that, you'll know about interviews happening on campus, job fairs, employer information sessions. Just when an employer calls us and needs a job filled really, really quickly, and we do an email blast out to students. If you're in Buff Jobs, you're going to be in the information loop. So I would encourage you to get your resume and all of your information in your Buff Jobs profile, and that'll give you access to more opportunities. The third way you can partner with our office is by developing your interviewing skills, and I think we've already talked about this in another video. But one thing that we do, we have an online interviewing workshop, but we also have a mock interview program, and that's where employers are coming on campus one night every month, and what students can do is they can sign up for a time to interview with that employer. Now you have to be a junior, and you have to have an approved resume in our database, junior or above, an approved resume in our database, and if you are those things, you can sign up for a mock interview. And if you're a distance student, you can still participate in the program, and we'll just do it over the phone. I guarantee you, if you mock interview with employers, your interview skills are going to get better. They just are. These employers interview people all the time. They know what works and what doesn't. And the great thing about it is they love college students, and so they're nice. And so what they're going to do is they're going to interview you, and then at the end of the interview give you feedback on how to improve. They might say, keep saying this, that's wonderful, keep doing that. Or maybe you change this. Don't talk about this, but talk about this rather, and give you good ideas on how to improve. So you go through a few mock interviews, promise you your interviewing skills are going to get better. The second great benefit of mock interviews is it allows you to make a connection. Sometimes I'll see a student, they'll mock interview with an employer one semester, and then I'll notice the next semester they have an internship or they have a full-time job with that employer. Well, what happened was they connected, they stayed in touch, one thing led to another, and it turned into an internship or a full-time job. No guarantee of that happening, but when students and employers come together, I mean, it just improves the chances of good things happening. So I would encourage you to participate in the mock interview program. If you find your own internship, that's awesome. A lot of times students will just find it through their own connections, or maybe they find it on a job board someplace else. If you do that, let us know. We try to keep track of all of that information. Plus, we can help you propose that internship for academic credit if you're interested. Some of your internships can qualify for academic credit. That all stems from your academic department. But what our office can do is we can help you propose that internship to your academic department to see if they'll grant credit for it. And once you get to that place in the process, we can talk more about all of those details. But just a couple of things about academic credit that I'll point out is usually on your degree plan, on most degree plans, there's an internship option as an elective credit. Check with your academic advisor, but usually there's a place that it can plug into your degree plan. And secondly, if you do internship for credit, I mean, it's a class, just like any other class. I mean, it's different in the sense that it doesn't meet on Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, or something like that. I mean, you kind of meet individually with a faculty person and work with them over the course of the semester, but there's an academic component and it costs just like a regular class would. You know, whatever 3 hours cost, that's what the internship class is going to cost as well too if it's for 3 hours. The next slide talks about ethical considerations. On the same, on this page the video is on, there's a link to our ethical standards agreement. I would encourage you to print this off and look at it and then sign it. Basically what it is, it's just saying that you're going to represent us in a good way. You're going to be a good ambassador for WT in your internship search and when you participate in an internship. You know, it's in your best interest always to represent yourself well and to be professional in all your interactions with employers. I mean, certainly you want to do a good job on an internship, if nothing else, just to get a good letter of reference. But you know, the other thing that we think about is if a student participates in an internship, we want them to do a good job and to keep that door open. You may or may not want to pursue that company as far as full-time, but we want you to do a good job on the internship so that that employer wants another WT student. We don't want you to close the door for students who may come behind you. So 99% of WT students are going to do this anyway without this agreement, but we just have this agreement just as a reminder that that's our expectation. We have high expectations of you, and you almost always represent us super well, and so we want to continue that. So print that form out, sign it, and send it to our office, and we'll put it in your Buff Jobs file. Okay, wrapping things up, on this slide, the top 3 icons represent the ways to connect with the Career Services Office. And we've talked about those: resumes, Buff Jobs, interviewing, mock interviews, polishing your interviewing skills. Encourage you to do all of those. The bottom 4 are proactive job search ideas that we've talked about through the course of these 3 videos. You may not want to do all of those. You may not can do all of them. But maybe there's 1 or 2 that really sound good to you, that sound like it fits for you. Maybe developing a top 10 list sounds like a good strategy for you. Maybe conducting an informational interview, finding somebody in your field and doing an informational interview is a good strategy for you. I mean, maybe you want to do them all. The more of these that you can do, the greater your chance of finding an internship. So I would encourage you to do the top 3 for sure, participate with our office fully, and then as many of these bottom 4 as you can. Those are just going to enhance the chances of you finding an internship. So what you need to do is, once you've gone through all 3 of these videos, there's a little survey on this page. Go ahead and take that survey and send that to us. Then our office will contact you and we'll schedule either an in-person if you're local or over the phone time to visit, just so we can get to know you a little bit more, learn about your internship strategy and goals, and just see how we can partner with you in the best possible way to find an internship. Thanks for watching these videos, and I look forward to working with you.